Can I get your attention just a second, please? Just a second. We're going to let you continue to eat in just a minute here, but we failed to do one thing, that's the pledges. So if you guys will all stand, please, for just a moment. And please join me in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the great state of Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas. One state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Please be seated.
One more interruption. This time you do not have to stand up. I would like to invite David Gutierrez up here to say a few words about his company. Well, please keep eating, but David's card was drawn last month, so he'll be telling us a little bit about his company, Next Level Prime.
Thank you. All right, I'm a little nervous, and since this is a Christian business luncheon, I'm gonna picture everybody with their clothes on. My name is David Gutierrez. I work for Next Level Urgent Care. We're offering medical memberships, so a monthly fee, then your employee for $85 can have unlimited access to our clinics. Them, their spouse, and all of their dependents are included in that $85 as well. So you can offer your employees health care to retain them and have healthier employees. We offer primary care, preventative care, chronic care, and urgent care, as well as weight loss solutions, emotional and wellness counseling, all through the app. And you can do virtual visits 24/7. And our clinics are open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you're struggling to keep your healthcare costs down, this is a great alternative to at least have something provided to the employees that you love and work with every day. Again, my name is David Gutierrez. I work with Next Level Urgent Care. Find me and we can introduce ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, please continue eating. Please don't throw food, so. Get this off here. So Caldwell Companies is our sponsor today, but no one could be here to talk because Caldwell is doing so incredibly well in their business that they're all running every which way. I mean, I don't know if you followed anything they're doing, but they're just going crazy. It's not on. Turn your hearing aids up. So anyway, please support Caldwell because they are. Okay. Where? Oh, come on up. Did I lie about you all being busy?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having us today. My name is Rolanda Williams, and yes, I do work with Caldwell Companies. I work on the commercial side of our company, but I'm most excited about the nonprofit side of our company, which we love dearly, which is JH Outback Houston. We take seriously engaged couples husband and wives, and also parent-child couples out to Brenham, Texas. Beautiful country, land that our CEO owns. And we ask you to get rid of your cell phones, your electronics for the weekend, and just enjoy the person you came with. Work on your relationship with the Lord, and also enjoy copious amounts of food like you're eating today, and also some great speakers. So if you're interested in a weekend away where you can just enjoy God's country and enjoy everything he has for us with someone you would like to strengthen your relationship with, come see me afterwards. Would love to show you a short little video and tell you more about the ministry. We're excited to be here. Thank you for having me today, and I hope you enjoy the meal.
Thank you. Okay, I wanted to mention, we had a lot of new people here today, so I wanted to mention why we meet. Why does the Christian Business Lunch meet here every month? And it is every month. The luncheon was founded in 2005 to bring business people together to glorify God and provide fellowship. So that's our goal and our mission, is to do that every month. So I'd like to recognize a few people that are here today. Kent Klingerman, where's Kent? Precinct 3? Where are you, Clint? Here he is. All right. Our wonderful mayor, Larry Klein-Quinn. And the former president of Lone Star College Tomball, Susan Carr. Susan? Okay. I'd like to recognize any veterans we have here today. Could you please stand if you're a veteran? And let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. And I know we have first-time visitors. I met a bunch of you. Could you please stand? Thank you for being here. Oh, I'm sorry, Roy, I forgot. Dr. Roy Lesenby, where are you? Lone Star. Yes. I haven't seen Roy in yet. Actually, he came last month, but I haven't seen him in many years. It's good to see him. And now, if you give me a minute, I want to get rid of this. You don't have to hit the back. Okay, Martha's Mexican Restaurant. Blanca and her team back there, thank you for feeding us. We usually thank Janetta for all the great work she does videographing, but today we have Monty and his crew here today from the college filling in. She had something come up today, so thank you for doing this. So we meet the second Tuesday of every month here at Lone Star, and I want to thank Leanne and the Lone Star people for letting us come here and have our meetings here. I've been doing this for 20 years, and we appreciate you. We do not charge for meals. If anybody feels led to donate, we would appreciate that. Our meals cost us $15. If you feel led to that, there are bowls on the table, QR codes on the table, and also PayPal is available if you'd like to do that. Future speakers. Next month, we're going to do our first missions spotlight, and it'll be families feeding families. Will be spotlighted next month. And then in November, Alexander Mailer will be here at their annual Veterans Program. And then in December, the Concordia Lutheran Choir, which is phenomenal. They come every year and do our program for us, so don't miss that one. Okay, now our mayor is going to come up and introduce our speaker.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, good. Thank you. I have the privilege of introducing one of the most wonderful women I have ever met. Man or woman, she is phenomenal. Her passion for education, her passion for everyone coming into school, adult or child, to achieve their best potential. And I'm going to read some of her accolades, too. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. So, Leanne has served as the president of Lone Star College, Tomball, where she first served as the institution's vice president of instruction from 2011 to 2015. From 1999 to 2011, she was at the North Central Texas College as dean of continuing education. She also started her career in 1990 at South Plains College in Lubbock. So you have been in education 1990, let's see, 10. No, you're not old. And we have had the privilege of having her here as our president now for 10 years. 10 years. Before that, she's an author. She also has completed the Agenda in Higher Education Challenge Beliefs About Student Success, which was released in 2019. She has started many programs here at the college and has brought such pride to Tomball and pride to Lone Star College with her Life Path program and other programs that she has in the work. She's a visionary, and so we really have a treat today for her to come up and talk about all the good things that she has done, plus what the college is doing. You are such a blessing to Tomball. Dr. Leanne Nutt.
Make me cry. I'm not supposed to cry till the end.
Yeah.
Well, good morning. Let's give David another round of applause. That took a lot of guts to stand up here and speak to a group of people that you may not know. So. Y'all keep eating. Oh, there's some sound. I don't know which one it came from. That one. Can you hear me now? Okay. Speed up. Congratulations to David. You did a great job. So glad y'all are here. Enjoy your lunch. I'm going to tell you a story. I think that catches us up. That's all you missed. It is an honor to be here today and to talk about something that I'm very, very passionate about and very humbled by the opportunity that's been presented to be involved in the work I'm going to tell you about. But I can't tell you about this story without going back to the 1900s, way back when I was in an airport, DFW airport, with my husband Jim, who's here and is on staff at Real Life Ministries, Texas. Hello, Jim Nutt. Give him a round of applause. He's also available to be Santa, so just let you know if you need one. And we were waiting for a flight, and I went to get a snack and stood in line and watched this family, mom and dad, and a daughter with Down syndrome. And I just watched them. And I came back and I sat down and I said, you know, if we ever had a child with special needs, I think that'd be okay. We could do it. Now, that's quite remarkable because I was determined not to have children. Not want kids. I'm not interested in that. That is not on my radar. But there was just something tugging at me when I watched that family. I asked my husband, do you remember that story? He said, no, not really. He said, but what I remember is when I was in high school, he's 8 years older than me, so that was a really long time ago. He said, someday I'm probably going to have a child with special needs because I can handle it. So somehow, there's lots of God stories in our journey. I'm going to try to keep it focused. We come together. We've been married since 1989. And that late 1900s story in the airport. And then we continued on our lives. It was 14 years later when our oldest son, Mike, was born. in 2004. And in 2006, we found ourselves expecting our second child. And on a normal Friday afternoon in June of 2006, we had our day planned out. We're going to go to this doctor's appointment. I'm 39, I'm high-risk pregnancy anyway, so we're getting sonograms all the time. Then after that, we're going to go have lunch, and then after lunch, we're going to go do this. It's going to be a great Friday. Except that Friday, that our entire world spun out of control. Because it was that Friday that the sonogram picked up on the heartbeat, if you've heard a baby heartbeat, it's real fast. First, they couldn't find it. It was the longest, it was probably 10 seconds, but it was the longest 15, 20, 30 seconds I'd ever felt. And as humans, we are hardwired to pick up on nonverbals. And I saw it on the doctor's face. Something's wrong. It's probably nothing, but let's go over here and do this other ultrasound. Another doctor comes in. It's probably nothing, but we're sending you to a maternal fetal specialist. You need to be there in an hour. It's probably nothing, though. So we drive to Dallas, downtown Dallas. We go to this maternal fetal specialist, and spread up on this incredibly vivid, huge screen in great detail was a picture of our baby's heart. And it wasn't just a hole in the heart. There was an entirely missing chamber. 3 chambers instead of 4. He says, yeah, it's something. And so now we're sending you to a pediatric cardiologist today. Be there in an hour. So what went from, let's just go have lunch after this doctor's appointment, wound up in a maternal fetal specialist and a pediatric cardiologist. It was with the maternal fetal specialist that was the first time a medical professional said it's a high correlation with Down syndrome, this particular heart defect, complete atrioventricular canal defect. And I said, correlation is not causation. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So let's go to Dr. Clapp. But it was that maternal fetal specialist. I'm going to have to kind of paint this scene, and it's a little bit embarrassing. I'm laying on the table, really pregnant. Like getting on the table was hard, pregnant, right? Every part of me, I envy so much women who carry everything right here in their little basketball belly when they're pregnant. That was not me. Picture the complete opposite. My hands, my feet, I was just so big and so uncomfortable. The doctor leaves the room after sharing the news, and I'm laying there, very uncomfortable, the table's uncomfortable, sobbing, devastated, terrified. And my husband, who's a really smart guy, said the smartest thing I'd ever heard him say. And it has carried us forward more than 35 years now. And Jim, what are we going to do? He said, I don't know. Whatever's next. Whatever's next became the next doctor's appointment, the next appointment, the next appointment, until we got to her heart surgery. When we got to the pediatric cardiologist, she was the one that said, yes, this heart defect is highly correlated with Down syndrome. One doesn't cause the other. But 2 out of 3 times when we see this, we see Down syndrome. Guess what I latched onto? 2 of 3. She didn't say 3 of 3, 2 of 3. As we processed that news, I realized I have to know before our baby's born if Down syndrome exists or not. And in a high-risk pregnancy, I had declined any kind of testing early in the pregnancy because it didn't matter. What is. But faced with that reality, all of a sudden, I had to know. And I got some pushback from a friend. What do you want to know? Ooh, it made me mad. Jim, that's another story. I said, the reason I want to know is because between now, we were 30 weeks along, y'all. We were way into this. Between now and the next few weeks when this baby's born, it can be about me. And I can be sad, I can grieve, I can scream, I can ask God why, I can do all of that. But I got to do all that to get ready, because when that baby shows up, it's not about me anymore. It's all about that baby. And I've got to be ready. So I have to know. So we got the news, we did the amniocentesis. I remember sitting in a conference room at North Central Texas College waiting for the doctor to call. And it was agonizing. I went trying to focus on budget and policy and student, and I'm just like, all I can think about is I'm waiting for this phone call, I'm waiting for this phone call. Phone rang. Answered it, hello, doctor, I don't remember his name. And he said, well, and I knew. That's all he had to say. We wound up meeting with a geneticist shortly thereafter, looking at the karyotype and seeing the extra chromosome. And I remember, it was a very small room, the geneticist saying, you know, you didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes mistakes happen. And that's when Mama Bear came alive. And I looked at that geneticist. I think I scared Jim a little bit. I looked at the geneticist and said, what? God doesn't make mistakes. This is exactly where we're supposed to be. And it was in that turning point, in that moment, I had forgotten about the DFW airport story. I mean, none of that had processed yet. So once we knew for sure the baby has Down syndrome, we found out the gender, and we were going to be surprised. But when you're looking at the genetic karyotype, it's kind of hard not to see it's a girl. We selected the name Rachel Ann. Ann is my middle name, my sister's middle name, my mom's middle name, my grandmother's name, and we're from Texas, so we have to have Ann in the middle name, right? But Rachel is from the Bible, worth waiting for. And God woke me up one morning, like at 4 in the morning, and again, I'm sobbing. I cried a lot between finding out and her being born. Woke me up about 4 in the morning with this incredible urge to go look up baby names, which was weird because we already had a name. But it was as clear a directive as I've ever had. Get on the computer, go look up your baby's name. So I sit down, do the Google thing, pick up the first baby name website that comes up, and type in Rachel Nutt, Rachel Ann Nutt. Rachel Ann, according to this baby name website, meant innocent lamb full of grace. And so a lamb became kind of the object of our representation of her. So still to this day, full shelf full of things. But probably what was even more compelling than that was the directive to look up our son's name. Our son was 2 years old when all this was going on. Scared to death about him. What impact is this going to have on the family? As I read statistics, 75% of marriages end in divorce when you have a child with special needs. And you can go bankrupt because of all the medical. I mean, there was nothing good in anything I was reading. Michael Lee. Sheltered from the storm like God. And I said, thank you, God. This is going to be fine. You've got us. We're going to be good. And that sense of peace then started to be real. It's amazing how God works, because between finding out and Rachel being born, we still have to live our life. So Michael still needs to go to the doctor. We need to run errands. All the life still goes on. How many times God reminded me in that time, He's in control. It's going to be fine. You've got this. So I take him to an ENT appointment. We go into this random room. They said, just pick one of those rooms down there. I walk in the room. On the calendar, there's a calendar on the wall. Guess what it was? Down Syndrome Association of Houston's annual calendar. I looked in the other rooms. That calendar wasn't in any other room. So as I'm waiting for the doctor, I'm looking at the pictures and start putting my arms around our new reality that's coming. Another example, Barnes & Noble was a big deal with our son, not because of the books, but because of the Thomas the Train table at the back of the, y'all remember that when they had Thomas Train Engine? I could take him and say, let's go to the train store. We didn't even call it Barnes & Noble. We walk in, we needed a break. I wanted something fiction to read to take my mind off of stuff. So we'll go to the train table. He's beelining it to the back of the store. Again, I'm really, really pregnant. I can't walk very fast. I grab the first book I see and start following him, and I picked this book just by the cover. The book was Memory Keeper's Daughter. If anybody's read that, you know what it's about? Down syndrome. And I'm like, okay, God, I got this message, right? So thank you, but I really didn't want to read this book. It was a fabulous book. In that time, it was lost on me, as it often is in our human existence, what God was preparing us for. Because God already knows the story. God already knows the next steps. God already knows how this today is going to impact the future and how it all connects. But in that human existence and in that moment, it just feels like chaos and questioning. So now the part of the story, after Rachel is born in August of 2006, she has open heart surgery in December of 2006. And it was ideal. The surgeon said we need her to be 10 pounds and 4 months old. She was 10 pounds and 4 months old. I don't have time to tell you all the stories about her being air flighted when she was born and how I was only in labor for an hour, and there's a whole bunch of stories around that. We can get together and talk, but open heart surgery in December. Then the next 2 years, we were in the hospital at least 8 times for breathing issues. Heart healed, heart was great. But the first time this happened, I walked into her room and she was having such trouble breathing that you could just see her lungs. There's a name for that, medical people, where you can see the lungs and the rib cage. And we hop in the car and we're driving to Children's Hospital in Dallas. Jim's driving, I'm holding her in the back, just willing her to breathe. Just breathe, baby, just breathe. We did that 8 times. Another care flight. And finally, the surgeon's like, we can't keep doing this. Something is really wrong. Well, out that her trachea with a stenosis is what they called. Your trachea is supposed to be round, this was flat. He said, we've got to do surgery on that for her to, and it's going to be worse than the open heart. You're going to take a rib bone, form a T, insert it in her trachea, and that's what's going to keep it open. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? I mean, like you get something caught in your throat. Okay, God, here we go. Just like her heart surgery, what's next became get in the car, turn on the engine, take this exit, park the car, get out of the car, hand your baby to somebody you don't know, and pray like crazy that they're okay. So we did all of that for a second time with her trachea. Sitting in the waiting room, terrified, and in about minutes, the surgeon walked out. That was scarier than sitting there. So I was not supposed to see him for hours. And I saw them walking to us, and I'm like, no. He He said, no, Mom, it's good news. And Dad, I don't mean to leave you out, but I'm on the stage, so I'm going to say it. It's good news. He said, before we made the incision, she was already intubated, she was ready. I said, the surgeon said, let me scope her one more time. Just let me look one more time. I undid everything, he scoped her. And that little trachea was just as round as it could be. All it was a cyst that had formed in her trachea during heart surgery. And it was filling with fluid and cutting off her airway. And when they intubated her again, it popped it. I mean, it's like just popping a pimple. They just popped it. Hallelujah, right? Whew. For that surgeon, something, God, led him to say, wait a minute. I want to see it one more time. That little tooth has been healthy as a horse ever since. We've not had any issues. She is so physically capable and healthy and active, and she turned 19 this past August. Amazing. Amazing. She's a toot. She's awesome. Rachel Ann. So in this time, I'm working at North Central Texas College, and frankly, I'm set there to probably be the next president. The current president was about to retire. And we loved Denton. We loved our community, loved our church. We weren't looking to move. And it was in November in 2009, is that right? 10? When my phone rang out of the blue, unexpected, and it was a recruiter. Never gotten a recruiter call before. We're looking for a vice president of instruction at Lone Star College, Tomball. And I'm like, nope, not interested. I really was not. He said, well, your name came up. And I said, no, it didn't. You're just going down the directory and you got to N and you called me. That's how my name came up. Totally dismissed it. I grew up in Texas, Texas Panhandle, Borger, Texas, Amarillo, went to school in Lubbock. Houston was not on my radar. Not interested in moving to Houston. Tomball's not Houston, so I have stayed true to that. Never regretted the move. The recruiter called in November, told my husband about it. In December, I was in Louisville, Kentucky, of all places, going to a conference, and grumpy about it. Didn't want to be there. Why am I here? It's cold, it's rainy, it's late, this stinks. I wish I was at home. And I found myself sharing a taxi, this was way before Uber, sharing a taxi with the president of Lone Star College, Montgomery. And he said, well, I said, hi, I'm Leanne, who are you? Had no idea who he was. He introduced himself, and we got to talking, and before it was over, that ride, he said, you need to apply for the Tomball job. It's twice. I'm like, no, I just don't, I'm not interested. January, talked to the president Montgomery again. He said, would you please apply for that job? Go to my husband, who's very smart. I've already mentioned that. He said, well, he knows how far to push me. Just call the recruiter back. Just put in your application. Just have an interview. It's just an interview. Just do this once, whatever's next, one step at a time. Called the recruiter back, and he completely blew me off. No, they've already got a finalist. And whatever. I said, that's fine. I just wanted to check. He said, wait a minute. What was your name again? I said, Leanne Nutt. Well, just a minute. My computer's turned off. I could hear him. And he said, oh, I remember you. You got to apply for that job. Y'all, moving here was not on our radar. It was at the worst possible time for a move. It was one of the most, in our journey of 38 plus years, one of the most difficult year and point in time that we'd ever had financially. It made no sense to come here. It was a lateral move, but I'll always be grateful to Susan Carr, who hired me and saw something in me that said, you need to be at Tomball. So Susan, thank you. You are part of that story. Part of that story.
Than I've ever known, and God walks you.
Amen. He brought me here. He brought us here. And I could tell you story after story about why that statement's true. For my husband, for my son, for my daughter, for me, it was meant this place, I was supposed to be here. So how does that fit with Life Path program that's what I'm supposed to be talking about. I got another phone call. All these random phone calls really infect your life. You know, you never know when to answer the phone because what's going to happen on the other end. And it was in 2015, and the chancellor at the time had been to a conference and had learned about a program out of Washington State called the Occupational Life Skills Degree. And he called and said, we have a board member who's interested in this program for Lone Star. Would you be interested in building that program? Well, I would like to think he asked me that because of my remarkable leadership skills. Why he asked me is because he knew I understood what it was like to be a parent of a special needs child, because the first question, maybe the second question that goes through your mind, and there may be you in the audience have the same experience, is, oh my Lord, what's going to happen to that child when I'm gone? It's a parent's biggest fear, because they can't always take care of themselves. So I was asked if I wanted to build this program. Yes, resoundingly yes. Even if I didn't have the personal experience, yes, this is the right thing to do. So we did. The program in Washington was replicating their program across the country. They were trying to. Their requirement was that we matched exactly their curriculum, their admissions requirements, the state requirements. We couldn't change anything. Okay, Washington and Texas are a little different, but we'll do our best. We started the program about a decade ago now with 8 students. It's going great, but we could not get state approval the way we needed it in order to proceed. And we mentioned that. We had a meeting with the college in Washington and said, if you'll let us tweak this, we can move forward. They said, not only no, but they terminated our contract. Jim, would you hand me my water? Give him a round of applause. Great job. Thank you. This is in May. We have our next cohort and continuing cohort starting in August. It's up in my office. Ann Jeanette, who is the director and still is today, myself, and another woman who doesn't work at the college anymore. We sat around a little round table in my office and we were like, what do we do now? And guess what the answer was? Whatever's next. Whatever's next, we can figure this out. We have a moral obligation, an ethical obligation, a mission imperative obligation to build this program. Community colleges are open access institutions. We take everybody, but we don't always build a program for everybody. To say someone's welcome is not the same as come to this program that's built for you. It's different. So we knew we had to figure it out. And my friends, we did. That was 10 years ago. Now, and I'll tell you what the program is, but now, Life Path, as it's called, is graduating cohorts of adults with neurodiversity issues. Most of our students are autistic, not all of them. We've had students with Down syndrome graduate, traumatic brain disorder, brain injury. It doesn't matter. What matters is this population of students is underserved, underemployed, and capable. Our job in LifePath is to prepare them for the workplace. What makes our program magic, that makes it different than any other program in the country, is we start with the student first. And now what does that mean? You would think every program would start with student first. 4-year program, first 2 years, what can you do? What are you good at? What are you interested in? Where do we need to develop? That's the same for all the students. In year 3, they can go into a regular associate's degree at our college, any one of them, or they stay in LifePath. They go to the regular degree, they still get all of the support. If they finish the 4 years LifePath degree, they graduate with an associate's, it's called an Occupational Life Skills Associate's degree. That degree only exists because of Tom Oliverson, who sponsored a bill for this college to make that degree exist. We're the only college in the state that has that degree. That is amazing. The only one. And with legislative support, now all of a sudden the bureaucrats start to fall in line. We have to approve it. Okay, Cornane Board, Southern Association, all of the things that is required bureaucracy in higher ed fell into place. So our students now can get financial aid for the program. The magic, though, of starting with the student falls in the community internship program. I'm going to embarrass her. I'm going to point out Nicole Akers, please. Wave your hand or let us see you. This program culminates in a community internship that is designed for the student. It is not, we have this partner who's willing to take you. It is Nicole's job to go find the partner that the student's willing to go to. It's different, totally different. We've got over 50 community partners, last count. We've had them at the city, you name it, yoga shops, insurance agencies, video production companies. It's just incredible. And those partnerships are instrumental to this work because the ultimate goal is for the student to graduate, get a job, contribute to their own livelihood, and fulfill their potential. And isn't that what we want for everybody? I was telling my dad when I found out Rachel had Down syndrome on the phone, Dad, I don't know what to do other than just to love her, discipline her, and she'll grow into whoever she's supposed to be. And it was in that moment I realized that's not any different than what I'd say about my son. So this program is unique. It's for a population of students who are overlooked, a population of students who are capable, and a population of students that we just want for them what we want for all of our students, to be better when they leave us than when they showed up. And that's what we do in LifePath. God is a master storyteller. God is a master author. You know, the verse, Paul asked me what my favorite verse is, and I shared the Psalms of, as I was knitted in my mother's womb. It takes on a really different meaning when your child is knitted differently. Doesn't mean they're knitted incorrectly, it's just different. So God's this master author. I believe to my core that that day that I was standing in the DFW airport, I said, you know, it'd be all right. God doesn't forget. Be careful what you ask for, right? I believe to that in my bones that at that moment he knew I was coming to Lone Star and he knew the Life Path program would exist and that I was uniquely credentialed and qualified to make that happen. I just believe it. It's how it was supposed to be. Going forward, we have a couple of things on the radar with our Life Path program. We've graduated well over 100 students. The most important stat, though I could give you all the stats, and I'm terrible at remembering numbers. I can spell anything, but I can't remember numbers very well. But the most important statistic is last spring when we had an event in here we call Pass the Torch, where students that are graduating from Life Path are giving advice to incoming students for Life Path. And on this very stage, I'm sitting right over there where Roy Lazenby is sitting. I sit in that exact same spot. A Life Path student stood up and said, "Life Path saved my life." That's the most important statistic. We are working with now, two things I'll close with. I am on an American Association of Community Colleges commission now called Structured Pathways. It's a very boring term. It has been an access point for me to share about Life Path at a national level and to get to know other colleges who want to serve this population, just don't know how. And they take a very traditional approach. And so that serving on that commission has really opened some doors to help replicate Life Path nationally. Internationally, that was a Freudian slip. Maybe we'll do international after we do national. And then our college in Tomball, Texas, is one of 5 community colleges in the country, and there's about 1,200 in the country, that is working with a nonprofit called Design Lab. And Design Lab's role is to use human-centered design to transform colleges. I was on the phone with them yesterday, and I said, I need your help with one thing in particular, and that is help us design the Community College for Neurodiversity Success that is a 501c3 housed under this college's umbrella, but that member colleges can join, and then they can replicate Life Path in their state. That's where we're headed. And in DFW in the early or late 1900s connects to what's coming. And I believe that. So thank you all very, very much for letting me share that story. Any questions? Paul said we had time for questions. If you want, I'm sure there are details I omitted. Here.
I have met her beautiful daughter in many things at Lone Star. We did for the college. She is absolutely delightful. She is beautiful. She has so much talent. She is a gift from God.
Yes, she is.
She is. She is. So I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. If you want to look her up, look at Facebook, Leanne Harrington Nutt. It's all flooded with her pictures. So, other questions? Yeah.
While you were talking, I put in Life Path program.
Good. Yes, just Google it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please share the website. I should have given more program information. Just Google Life Path Tomball. It is not an open admissions program. There is an admissions process for it. And that calendar is on the website and what all of our requirements are. But it's transforming lives. It's saving lives. We recently added, we can't be all things to all people, though we try very hard. Life Path closes the gap between high school graduation and adulthood. And my own daughter, Rachel's in a transition program now that lasts about 4 years. But after that, where does she go? What does she do? Life Path closes that gap. But it's not completely closed. So we started what we call foundations. And foundations is for a population that might just be on the edge of being admitted into LifePath, but needs just a little bit of help before they are. So that gives another access point to extends the opportunity for more students. So a couple of different ways to get into the program. So yes, LifePath on our website has everything.
Nicole here helped facilitate that. So what I would love for you to tell everybody is how they can get their businesses and organizations to take on a Life Path student to help them in their senior years, junior and senior years, to get that skill, because it was wonderful to see how Jonathan grew from when he first walked in to the day he graduated and was helping develop our senior citizen programs and companionship as a young man dealing with his own neurodivergency.
Yeah. Thank you very, very much for that question. I'll respond very quickly. See Nicole, right? Off Nicole. Truly, though, this is one of the examples of where community matters, because our LifePath program would not be successful without the community partners that we have, because it's the whole magic of the program. And without the partners willing to work with us to place a student in an internship, we wouldn't have a program. So several in this room have been partners, and thank you very much for that. The police department especially has been incredibly supportive and helps provide transportation for some of our students as well. It's just incredible just the connections. If you are interested, all you have to do is let us know. You would be supported all along the way. That's what Nicole does. It's not a, here you go, here's your student, and we don't talk to you for 6 weeks. It is very structured, very developed, very intentional, and you won't be on your own. And how many of our partners start with, I don't know, I'm nervous, I don't want to say anything wrong, I'm a little scared. After that first time, sign me up again, sign me up again, sign me up again. It's really transformative, not for just the LifePath student, but for the partner too. LifePath on our campus is very integrated. You see students all over our campus in the commons eating lunch, doing all the things. What I underestimated when we built the program was the impact it was going to have on the culture of our college. Now our occupational therapy come work with our LifePath students. They're getting practice. Our students are benefiting. The campus internships that we put students through before they go out in the community has transformed us. It takes away the fear. It takes away like, I don't know, and just pulls the scales back off our eyes and can see that they are wonderfully and beautifully made. I think we'll end it with that. So thank you all very, very much.
Yes, sir, Lieutenant Colonel.
There you go. If you guys have not had an opportunity to meet Rachel, you're missing out. She is absolutely delightful. I have witnessed, of course, Leanne and Jim's parenting, and they are remarkable in what you do, so thank you so much. Rachel also, some of you may or may not know, that she participated a year ago in the Miss Tomball project. Yeah, you did. So, yeah. But I wanted to thank you publicly because you've been very, very impactful in my life. I have a late bloomer daughter that's 30 years old now that suffers from depression and anxiety and wouldn't leave the house for over a year, actually. And so she started her at Tomball, and she said, This lady has just been so encouraging to me. I just love her. I said, who was that? She said she's the president. And Leanne was doing all these things, not knowing it was my daughter, of course. But she's been so, and she just loves and adores you. And Leanne took a picture with her, and she just has that picture in her room, as a matter of fact. And this past year, she just received her associate's degree. And she is across the way over there now because she's going to be a vet tech. So she's over there as we speak in school. So thank
community.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for what you do. We really appreciate you. Yeah. So we're going to do something a little bit differently than what we've done before here at the Christian Business Luncheon. I serve on this board here, but I also have the pleasure of serving on the foundation board for Lone Star College, all 8 campuses, of course. So we've got a little bit of a special program, so I want to ask you guys, if you would, to indulge us just a few minutes, okay? And I'm going to ask our director, we happen to have her here as well. We have a lot of dignitary-type folks here. Director of that foundation, Nicole Robinson Gauthier. That's a French name. So, Nicole, if you guys will give her a round of applause, she's going to speak and tell you a little bit about that foundation.
Thank you so much. So there's 2 Nicoles today. So if you need anything, either one of us can help you because we can help you get connected to how to best help our students. So today, I do have the privilege of taking this off of the typical agenda. So I have the privilege of serving as the executive director of Lone Star College Foundation. We're all very passionate about our jobs. Very lucky to have you, Dr. Nutt. Thank you for sharing your story. You talked about how it was brave for him to get up here and speak. I think we all feel the same about you. It takes a really special person to come up and just open their heart and share all of that. And I love it. And I'm privileged to work with you and all the work that we're doing. So, and I have to say the word on the stage when we talk about you, your courage, your leadership, and your grit. And your grit. If you know Dr. Nutt, you know grit needs to be in there. But today, I'm up here because Paula Whitaker put me up to it. And if you know Paula Whitaker, you understand that as well. Paula loves Lone Star College Foundation, has multiple scholarships with the foundation, and she loves the work of the college. She loves supporting students. And she has a special place in her heart because you hear her talk about Ryan. You can't drive on the Grand Parkway without thinking of Paula and Ryan with that beautiful, incredible, enormous cross that is just inches from heaven. And so today, Paula is pouring her heart out a little more because she has a special place in her heart for our new friend, and she doesn't know this is happening. So Penny, I'm sorry for catching you off guard, but Penny Jennings, like Paula, Penny also lost her son. And there's a purple flyer on your table that talks, it gives you a little bit about Cameron and Cameron's legacy. And so we'll let you take a look at that. But Paula wanted to, so I'll have Paula and Penny, if you guys will come up. We have a little something. To honor Lone Star College and the work, and to honor Penny and her husband Keith. Did I get it right? Penny and Keith? Penny and Keith Jennings for all that they are doing in the community for Cameron's legacy. Paula has created the Cameron Duke Jennings Scholarship Endowment here at Lone Star College Foundation. Gotcha, look at you when I'm crying. And we thought this would be a good spot now that we made you cry for a little photo op with you and Paula. Can somebody take a picture, though? I forgot to set that up before. Oh, look, there you go. Larry, you want to come up? You're on the board, both boards. You guys hold this. So it just felt like today was a good day to do this, for you guys to meet her and understand a little bit about her, the legacy she's leaving with her son and the message she's sharing. And thank you for the opportunity.
I just want to say a few words about this beautiful lady. She
is just phenomenal. I heard her for the first time at at the Rotary, and a few weeks ago. And she came to speak about the plague of young people with drugs and how it is changing, killing our children. As a parent, she touched my heart because she lost her son to a drug for drugs, her only son. And I lost my son with a medical malpractice when a doctor gave my son a fentanyl patch and to put on his side. And in 4 hours, it stopped his heart and it killed him at 25. So it's the worst nightmare for a parent. Mrs. Jennings, we met in my office. We cried together and talked about the legacy as she is working at Montgomery County and going to speak at schools, colleges, and organizations about drugs. And if you look on your table, she's put things on there, and that is beautiful things. And hopefully this will save lives in educating parents, students, to tell them about narco and the spray that can save their lives. But also educate young people, because education changes everything. And statistics show that in the last year and a half, 400,000 people, mostly youth, have died from drugs. We have got to stop it. And it's coming in from, the cartel and all that. I'm so grateful for our president who's trying to rock it. I wanted to leave a legacy for Cameron Duke Jennings, but she is also leaving a legacy of helping people and educating people and students about the dangers of drugs. That day, God told me to do something, and I always do what God says. I contacted Nicole and asked her if she would please get a scholarship for Cameron Duke Jennings Memorial Scholarship for Lone Star College. I have 6 scholarships at Lone Star College, the Ryan Paul Whitaker Memorial Scholarship, Nursing Scholarship. I decided that day to do something for Miss Jennings. A life with a legacy. You'll see something on your table. A life with a legacy. You can look at that. A legacy is something that we leave behind that does good for humanity. It is what we leave that is evident that we did something good in our lives to help others. We made a difference in people's lives. Nothing is more important than the things we do for God and others. A rich legacy is not how much money we have when we leave this world, because money is only as good as the good things it does. A rich legacy is how our life will be measured and how much good we did with what we were blessed with. How much love, how much compassion, how much giving we did to help others along life's way. Nothing we give comes back void. I'm so proud that Miss Jennings is here today and that her scholarship for her son will be in perpetuity as long as Lone Star College, and that's going to be here till Jesus comes. I know that. So I'm eternally grateful. I'm eternally grateful for being able to do this. Thank you so much. Look on your table. This is a beautiful thing. If you look also on the table, there are things that she puts out about this drug program. If you know a group that she can speak at, it is phenomenal. There's also a thing on your table that says A Life with a Legacy. I wrote that shortly after my son died, and it's about a legacy. So please take this. Please pray for this. And if you know a group
get in touch with us because we want to help people and we want to stop this crime of killing our children. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Paula. Thanks, Nicole. And Penny, thank you so much. So next month, don't forget, we're going to do feeding families, and it should be a great one. And I hope to see you all then. And you all have a great week.